About a week ago, I had a look in the back of the flow hive to see how the honey production is going. Oh, they're busy bees this morning. Just might have a quick look in the back window. If there's much there, we may even be harvesting honey today. Oh, we've got honey in the back there. Oh, we might be harvesting. I've heard different things about when to harvest. Some say it's got to be absolutely chockers full of wax, of capped honey. And the reason for that is that when it's capped, it means that the bees are happy with the moisture content that is in the honey. So they put a wax cap on it when it's ready to go. Other things that I've read talks about when it's 80% capped. So we'll throw the bee suit on and we'll get the smoker going. We'll have a look. We may well be harvesting honey. Tell you what, you should see my bee suit at the moment. They've been dusting up next door. It's been really, really dusty. My bee suit should be white. Yeah, it's not white. It's kind of brown. It normally hangs here, and Sarah said to me, you should probably move your suit because there's a lot of dust coming through from out here, from over the back fence. I didn't. Now it's brown, so I'll use it today, and then I'll probably have to throw it in the wash. I grabbed one of these off eBay a couple of weeks ago. I haven't used it yet. What it is, it slips onto the side of the box, and then you rest a frame onto here, and it holds it up off the ground right next to the hive for you. I thought that was a worthwhile investment. What I'm going to do is open up the small one, the small Langstroth hive that's got no super on it, just to check and see how they're going with building honey. And I'll do the other Langstroth hive, and then I'll open up the flow rate, the flow hive, and we'll see if we can harvest some honey today. The weird thing about being over here near the hive, because the hives are just there, like right there, is that I get flies hanging around me here. I've got the microphone in the pocket today, here underneath the bee suit, so hopefully we don't get any bees making too much noise, and hopefully you can hear me okay. But the weird thing about putting the bee suit on over here is that I get the flies that hang around. I'm looking at bees, hearing flies and going, oh shit, there's something coming into my suit. Nothing is, they're just crazy. I'm just looking at the audio symbol there. Doesn't look like it's going too crazy. I think it might be alright having the microphone in there. Looks like you might hear a bit of noise from that, but I think it'll be okay. Let's go and have a look at the small hive. Wasn't really sure. I think last time, probably 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I checked out these boxes here to see how this is the latest swarm that I caught. There's a lot of bees going in and out of there. So it may well be time for a super yet, I'm not sure. So we'll open up and have a look. We'll put some smoke down there first. Not a great deal, just to let them know something's happening. We'll crack this open. That wasn't very tight, so I don't imagine these guys are going to be ready for a super yet. There's no wax up there. Mind you, it might be time, we'll see. There's an awful lot of bees in here. Yeah, the queen excluder's held down pretty well. There's a lot of wax in here holding it down. I don't really want all these bees up on here. I'd rather them go down a bit lower whilst I'm doing this. And a bit of smoke should push them down lower. Yeah, most of them have gone down there now. Now they're starting to build honeycomb on this last frame. There's quite a bit of pollen in there. You can see in there the brighter orange stuff. I doubt I'm going to see the queen over on this frame because it's not all built out yet, but the next ones, oh wow, the next ones have a fair bit. So I'm going to try this new gizmo that I have. We'll put it there on the side, and that's how it was. Wow, that's a lot better than putting it on the ground. Go and have a look at these next ones. Oh, some weight in that. Honeycomb's all filled out here. They're starting to cap over some honey. There's a lot of capped honey there, you can see. All the top of this frame here, that's all capped honey. And there's a lot of brood in the bottom half of it. A lot of this is brood down here. So I think I think we'll probably be putting a super on this today. We'll go through the whole lot and just see if we can see the queen anywhere there. This one is the last frame on the other side. All the frames have got a lot of brood in them and honey in them. This one here's got capped honey on the far side. There's, not sure how much you can be able to see from in there, but you can see some big bees coming around here. These are the drones. Haven't seen the queen yet. That's okay, there's lots of sign of the queen though. I've seen eggs, I've seen larvae, I've seen covered brood as well. This is the reverse side, so this side here you can see it's still just plastic. Not much work happening here. There's a little bit of honeycomb starting to be built here, but it's on the far side. The two outside ones, from the best that I can figure from all the reading and all the videos that I've been watching, they kind of act like insulation, I guess, for the hive. So with that in mind, considering that one of them has already got honey and brood, capped brood on one side, I'm thinking we'll probably put a super on. I decided what I'm going to do is use the ideal frame, the half height one. Forgot to take my little rest out. So put that down, head off there, little ones. There we go. I remember watching this video that somebody was talking about the thing that kills most honeybees. Beekeepers, as we do pulling the hives apart, putting the hives back together. So what I'm going to do is put this ideal box on. Now the reason for that, the reason I'm doing it is, well, it's twofold. One, I've got it and it was ready to go, because when I bought this, they actually coated the frames in wax already, so hopefully they'll get up in there straight away and start storing some honey. And two, it's a younger colony, and I'm just not. It's almost autumn now. I'm not sure what the nectar flow is going to do in the next few months. So I figure I'll put this on there rather than the big one, as in the full size one, and then come springtime we might swap that out, harvest the honey that's in there and get a big one onto there, the full size super onto there. There's something else that happened here. I recently registered as a beekeeper in Victoria. All my hives are numbered. There you go, 4-3. That one over there is 4-3 alpha. This one is just the flow hive. I know which one that is because it's the only one. And I named them with these numbers. They're just my old army call signs. But this on the back here, this MQ40, and on the back of that hive over there, and even the flow hive has got that. That's actually our registered beekeeper number in Victoria. So I did that during the week, did some online courses to get certified, and we'll just see where we go. I'm pretty sure it's a legal requirement in Victoria to do that. All right, on to the next one. Let's bring my bee box over here. Didn't bring my fire's still over there. This is actually really good. I'm quite impressed with that. There's a couple of bees hanging on there. You guys belong over there. So we'll this lid off and have a look-see. So this lid here is like stuck on there, so I know there's a lot of bees up in there. They've been busy in there laying wax foundations and stuff, trying to like seal the hive up before this brute comes along and opens it. We'll get that up a little bit. Let's get a little bit of smoke in there. Wow, these guys have got yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, you probably can. It's all this honeycomb sitting up above in between the gap for the roof and the top of the frames there. That's a bit weird. I didn't expect to see that. You guys have got so much room in here, you shouldn't have needed to do that. So I'm going to need to get like a bucket or something to put this in. So we've been collecting jars for a while now and sterilising the jars. Now I'm looking at this here and I'm just going, this has got honey in it, this honeycomb. I can't keep it there, it's no good for anything. So I'm going to put it in this jar here, and if I end up harvesting honey in the flow hive, some of that honey can go into this. perfectly normal to have bits of honey in the hive. It happens. The bees are really good housekeepers. They will clear it out. If it is, they'll eat it. Now look at that. Honeycomb. Let's have a look at this in this hive here. Swarm beetle trap or hive beetle trap. Nothing in that. That's a good sign. I haven't seen any hive beetles in this one before either, so it may be just fine, you know. Let's get my new tool on there. This thing is awesome. I'm really happy with this. I don't care about putting the lid on the ground. The lid being on the ground doesn't bother me at all. Alright. First frame, not much going on. A little bit of wax foundation. That's all good. Let's get on to the next one. Wow, these are stuck together so well. There's a bit more weight in this. There's foundation on this side and a lot of capped honey on that side. You can see there, all that white is capped honey. So I think oh geez, I might even have to ask for some advice on this particular hive, because this one's, they're filling this hive up really fast. Oh yeah, there's some weight in that. That's full capped honey there. That's another frame of fully capped honey. Absolutely chockers full of honey. That's another frame that's absolutely chockers full of honey. That's 3 full frames, like 100% full. They're so heavy. This one's not quite capped on the whole way. Where the bees are down the bottom, it's not fully capped. This side, fully capped. That's 3, almost 4. And this side here is like 3, or half of again is full. So I'm not quite sure how much we should be keeping there for the winter. I've got a feeling there's too much there for winter. I'm not sure though if right now is the right time to harvest that, because the difference between harvesting this and harvesting the flow hive is that for this I'm going to have to get some machinery off someone, borrow some honey extractors and spin them out. I don't want to go get that if I'm only going to do one frame. The difference with this and the flow hive is that I can just harvest the one frame by turning a knob at the back of that. So I think I'll just be asking for some advice on this one before we do anything. On to the flow hive. I'm really happy with how that other stuff is so far. The other two hives, they're doing well. I'm happy that we got that, the honeycomb, and we'll see what sort of honey we've got in here and whether or not we're going to get any today. Because when I look in the back of this, like I showed you before, there's honey at the back of 1, 2, 3, 4 frames here, 5 frames. So there's only 7 frames in this, I think. Yeah, 7. So what we'll do, we'll pull the lid off and have a look at the actual frames. If they're not at least 80% capped, we won't do anything with it. But if they are at least 80% capped, we might be doing honey today. Where did I put my hive tool? It's over here. So if we end up harvesting honey, it'll be out of one of these 3 frames, I think. So we'll just pull one of them first and have a look-see. Oh, this is heavy. I'd say that's pretty bloody close to being 80%. This side here is pretty well fully covered. This side here is almost covered. We'll have a look at the next one this way and we shall see. Yeah, this is the same. This is at least 80% covered too. You can have a look here. All that's empty on that frame is that little bit down the bottom there. The rest of that is fully capped honey and the reverse of it is the same. So I think we're going to harvest some honey today. Just want to look at this one as well. This one here had honey at the back. If I do harvest this, I'm only going to harvest 1 frame. Because it's autumn, oh wow, this one's got almost as much in it as well. Yeah, The next one's, wow, there's a lot of honey in here. We're going to be harvesting honey today for sure. So we are going to harvest some honey. These are the two little brackets here that this forms a stand into. I'll just take this window off again. Take the top one off and the back door. The back door actually forms the shelf, which I just like threw away then for some reason. Now the jars, just check, make sure these are the right height. They're probably going to be a bit too tall, so I need to drop this down a little bit. They give you a tool when you buy a flow hive, and that tool is for these screws here. You can take them out, put them in, and the brackets here hold on to those screws, so just had to loosen one down a bit lower, and that should be good now. So this is the frame here that we're doing. The way we do it, just go away you. I've got to take this bracket out the top here. I've got a heap of bottles sitting over here. They're all old peanut buttered bottles that we've used over time, like for a year or so, 2 years, maybe longer. And we'll take out this bottom clip there, and this is the spout. The spout, this little bit here, goes into the bottom, and there's a little flow hive icon on the top there, and you'll see, if you have one of these, you'll see when you open that up where it's meant to go. That's almost it. After we've got this all in place, the next thing we need is this key here, and this key goes into the top up there, and this here, when I turn it, is what's going to crack that honeycomb. Better get the lid off that bottle, eh? So we should start seeing some honey flowing shortly, and I do see some in there already. That's really cool. That's super cool. There's going to be an issue here with bees, I can just see it. Oh, yep. I'm going to end up with bees in the honey. I'm sure that's a common thing. Now, this jar here may be no good because I won't be filtering it afterwards. What I might need to do is just go straight onto that jar. You guys can stay over there for a minute. Look at that. Yeah, we're going to have to be filtering this honey. It's a slow process by the look of it, which kind of makes sense because honey's thick. I'm on to my third jar now. Each jar, I just went and weighed it, how much honey is in the first jar versus the empty jar, and it works out to about 900 grams per jar, roughly, ballpark. So maybe close to 800 grams per jar. So that's we're on the third jar now, and it hasn't slowed down. So we're probably going to get 3 kilos, I reckon, out of a frame. And from what I've read, that's roughly what people are getting. So if we get 3 kilos, I'll be stoked. That's out of one frame. We wait and see. Well, that was a lot of fun. I didn't really know if we were going to get honey this season or not, this year or not, but we did. It's got three and a half bottles there. So it's about 3 kilos that we got out of that one frame, which is roughly what they said you would get on everything that I've been reading, about 3.5 or 3 to 4 kilos, I should say, out of each frame. So getting that much, I'm pretty happy with it. I guess we want to know, like, how good does it taste? Like, there you go, there's one jar, there's 3 of those and 3.5 of those. It smells pretty good. Tastes really good. That's really nice. That was worth all that work. That's really nice honey. That's got to be up there with some of the best honey I've ever tasted. That's really good. Sarah's going to be stoked. So that's 1 frame out of 7 frames. Come spring, that sucker will be filling up all the time. We're going to have so much honey. So I've still got to do some research around, ask my mate about the Langstroth hive and see what the best story is there for harvesting that. Do I do it now or do I wait? And we'll see. But hey, I'm a beekeeper. That's awesome. It's really yummy. See ya.